Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about it. Thursday night football, exciting matchup, divisional matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a couple of the storylines in this video. I'll give you 4 best bets at the end of this video, and you'll see after I get done talking about kind of where my head's at, why I kind of made my bets surrounded by a lot of players. Predominantly at the quarterback position. So make sure you stick around to the end. If you're new to the channel, awesome. Welcome. Glad to have you. Make sure you guys all subscribe down below. Also, a couple things of business. We do have a free Discord, okay? Make sure you go over there, sign up. It's totally free. Links down below in the description. It's something where I do give bets from time to time, as well as we kick it up on a daily basis. Great community we're building over there, all right? Also, forgive me, I'm kind of under the weather. My throat's, on the mend, so I'm on antibiotics. So forgive me in this video if I talk a little funny, but we're going to talk about it. I'll give you guys my 4 best bets. We'll talk about the side, the total, where the money's at, all that good stuff, as well as some of the storylines and insights as well, courtesy of Outlier. So let's get down into it. If you haven't done so, like I said, make sure you subscribe. Follow me on X as well. The handle is in the bottom left, and let's dive into it, okay? So the first thing of note is kind of what we look at. Josh Allen has been historically, since his inception into the NFL, dominated the Miami Dolphins, okay? And Mike McDaniel being at the helm of the Miami Dolphins, it's a whole new look Dolphins. Tua gets paid. They bring in Tyreek Hill. They have offensive weapons galore. But the biggest storyline right now is kind of what they have available, okay? And this is something where we've talked about it last year, and you look at kind of what they're going to be able to do at the running back position. That's going to be one of the biggest storylines. So is he playing? Is Devon Achane playing? That's going to be the big question. Raheem Mostert is still out, and Achane will be a game-time call. So we'll talk about the money. I think there's going to be a lot of rushing in this game. That's where my head's at. That's where the early money is as well. So we're going to look at those numbers. I'm going to have three prop bets as well to go along with a bet on the total. I'm going to stay away from I'm going to stay away from the total on this one, but I will have a bet on the side. Okay, something worth talking about within the total. We are expecting some humidity. It's going to be wet by all accounts, so check the weather. They're going to be playing in Miami. I know that Miami's used to this, but Buffalo and what they're going to try to do offensively, I think this really fits their bill as well. So let's get into some of the insights. All right, I want to break this down for you, and we are going to pull up Outlier to do so. And this is where you can see Outlier. They have a lot of insight. It's a really great platform. I make all my bets with it. And quite frankly, if you guys aren't using Outlier, I do talk about OddsJam from time to time, but these are the 2 platforms I use. So I will push these on my channel as they continue to sponsor me, because I use it on every one of my bets. And if you don't believe me, just sign up using the link down below. There is a 7-day free trial. Check it out for a week. It's kind of confusing at first. I got to be honest with you. That's just because of so much information, okay? But what I did here is I sorted this by kind of odds, and we look into the insight, and you can see kind of where everything stands. We can look in past bias within recency, okay? Tua, he's been throwing the ton out of the football. What's he going to be doing tonight if he does not have his running back arsenal? Also, the weather's going to play a role. Also, game script. If Buffalo wants to control the clock, if they're going to run the football, Miami's going to have to kind of play that mold. They don't want to keep giving the ball back to Buffalo, giving them more kind of time of possession. They can dominate the clock. We've seen this happen before between Buffalo and Miami, and quite frankly, that's where I'm kind of headed within my prediction for tonight as well. Also, James Cook, a very big performance expected from him. We look at Josh Allen not having any receivers after losing Stephon Diggs. I don't think that's quite frankly where I think people need to be thinking. Okay, I think Buffalo's going to find a way. We saw what they were able to do last week against Arizona, and I think this is all the same. I think Buffalo's going to control the game from a line of scrimmage standpoint. Greg Rousseau, oh my gosh, what a great game he had defensively within a forced fumble, a couple sacks, a couple tackles. All right, really getting it done on the defensive side of things to go along with obviously the other key players there on Buffalo. Now, something else worth noting, okay, and this is something where we're going to talk about game plan strategy. Mike McDaniel is a very, very offensive-minded, a philosophy where, wants to run fast, wants to run plays, wants to run tempo, and kind of has a I don't care, stubborn attitude, does not really evolve, morph, adapt. he kind of sticks to his guns. And so I think they're going to come out throwing the football. And the biggest thing worth noting is we look at kind of what's happened within Miami, okay? And this is a big, big storyline, okay? Jordan Poyer come over from Buffalo. All right, one of the captains there was for Buffalo at one point in time, getting paid, going down to South Beach, now suiting up for the Miami Dolphins. How much intel will he have, insight in kind of the trade secrets within the Buffalo Bills? That's the only thing that has me worried a little bit on the side. They're going to know how to attack weaknesses more so than they did before. And with Miami kind of getting owned by Buffalo historically, I think this definitely is going to play a role in tonight's matchup. However, I am going to be on the side of Buffalo. I am going to be taking the +3. Right now, the number's at -2.5. It's kind of trending where we might bounce up to 3. It's low juice on -2.5. But I'm going to be locking in Buffalo +3. I actually like them on the money line too, but let's get the 3. Give us a little field goal cushion in this matchup, and hopefully get the W as they travel down to South Beach for this game. Okay. Now, one of the other insights on Outlier that I'm going to talk about is Dalton Kincaid. Now, Dalton Kincaid, largely taken out of the game against Arizona, did not have the stat line that we expected. I think that with Buffalo minus their key receivers, it's going to be something where they're going to be game planned against. Dalton Kincaid is probably their number one target at this moment in time, and they effectively took him out of the game, threw Allen off of his mark, and I think this is where it leads into my next best bet because, quite frankly, Josh Allen has not needed it. Okay, and I think this is where we see him run the football a lot. So we are going to attack the Josh Allen over rushing attempts. That's set at 8.5 at -118. That will be a best bet for me. It gives us some cushion where, let's say we get 5, 6, 7, 8 rushes. We do have the potential at halftime and at the end of the game if Buffalo does have a lead, where we could get some kneel downs, which do count as rushes in the NFL. So that will be kind of where I stand on a Josh Allen over 8.5 rush attempts as a best bet in terms of the prop markets. All right, and we'll stick right with it. We'll go Josh Allen in this next bet too. And this is something where we're going to talk about Josh Allen, and this is on Outlier, over 22.5 passing completions, okay? Now, that is juiced to -102. The over is something where if we look at the numbers, we look at the data, you can see right here, we'll pull up the statistics. In the last 5 games, he's went way over that, okay? And the last game against Miami on January 7th, he ended up throwing the football 30 times. Now, a little different game plan, a little different strategy, okay? We can look kind of in what he was able to do against Arizona, and that was a kind of a different game plan as well because they were trailing at one point, okay? So against the Cardinals, 232 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and let's talk about some of those numbers, okay? Because Josh Allen, in that spot, okay, if we look into the game log, I'll show you guys the stats right here. Okay, he had 18 completions against versus 23 attempts passing, so completion percentage is up. Those were a lot of short throws. That's why he only got the 232 yards. But rushing, like we talked about, he had 9 rushes for 39 yards. I also do like Josh Allen over his rushing yardage. He averages, I think, 39 yards against the Dolphins. So that's a pretty, statistically speaking, a pretty strong median, okay? But in this spot, completions, I don't see him getting 30 completions like he did on January 7th. I think this is something where we look at it where he gets under 22. I think they're going to run the football, especially with the thought of weather that we have kind of in play. Josh Allen under 22.5 total completion. That's kind of going to be a very much a I don't want to say lock, but a very strong play for me because despite having all of these completions that he's had, just barely even touching that, okay, even at 75% completion percentage. So Josh Allen under the 22.5. The only way that this doesn't hit is if Miami gets the lead and they got to come back and Josh Allen has to throw the football. However, I don't think that's going to be the case. Historically, these primetime spots, I think they hit almost at or above a 60% clip towards the under. I usually bet primetime unders, but I'm not going to take it in this game because we saw 62 points last week against Arizona. Jacksonville, Miami, we had a 17-17 game with the potential for a lot more scoring, but that game ended up being 20-17. So If you do like the under, that is one way that you could go. But we'll talk about some of the numbers right here, because right now the early indications is a lot of the betting splits are showing a bigger percentage of the money is on Buffalo straight up. Okay, we do have more of the money versus the betting splits versus the bets taken on the Dolphins, plus 2.5. Okay, or I'm sorry, minus 2.5, and then also the total is going to be kind of a opposite as well, where we do see 70% of the money is on the under and 72% of the bets are on the over. So strong play on the under, strong lean, I should say. I'm not going to bet it as of yet. Personally, I don't like to go over the 0 with teasers. But in this game, I don't mind necessarily taking the 6 points and taking Buffalo up to 8.5, plus 8.5 within the likes of the under, where we can have a 54.5 mark as well. So that will be a same game teaser that I'm going to be implementing. You can find that it's going to be like minus 120 to minus 130. That's where we'll have Buffalo plus 8.5 as well as the under. You can find the under at a 54.5. Okay, so that's going to be one of my bets. I'm going to play the same game teaser primetime move. I always kind of do that where we take the total and the game. Let's go up with Buffalo and let's go under with the 40 or the 54.5. Taking those 6 points on that teaser. Okay, that'll be a best bet. But I am also going to bet the Buffalo Bills straight up. Plus 3, not on the money line. So we'll take the points. Let's get plus 3 at minus 126. That's the best number available. All right. And then we're going to round out the card where we do take the Josh Allen anytime touchdown. That's plus money, plus 106. Like I said, he's going to be running the football when they get in the goal line. We know how turnovers can be a concern, but in this matchup, I definitely think that Josh Allen will get a touchdown if he gets anywhere close inside the 10. So that's where we're going to take the plus money here. Anytime touchdown, plus 106. Okay, so that's about it. That wraps it up. I know that those are my best bets. We're going to go heavy on the Josh Allen narrative. I think that we're going to see a lot more running of the football in this game. Buffalo's going to kind of try to keep the ball out of Miami's hand, try to keep Mike McDaniel at bay, and get away with a road victory in division. Okay, so let's recap. If you haven't done so, though, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and good luck with your picks. But here's my quick recap. We will go Josh Allen under 22.5 completions, Josh Allen anytime touchdown, Buffalo plus 3, Josh Allen over 8.5 rush attempts, and a same game teaser with Buffalo plus 8.5 and the under 54.5. So those are my best bets. We got 5 for you guys if you count the teaser. But I thank you all for watching. Good luck with your picks. Like I said, make sure you follow me on all socials, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.